This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Bernard. We have a massive Monday Night Football game. Week 14 concludes with two teams boasting an 8-4 record. It's the Eagles and the Chargers. The NFC East leading Eagles look to right the ship after dropping 2 straight games, including last week to the Chicago Bears at home. What has gone wrong for the Eagles? Through the first 8 weeks of the season, they were one of the league's best offensive teams. But since the Week 9 bye, Philadelphia are averaging just over 15 points per game. And they've scored just 15 points in the last 6 quarters of football. One guy they have to get going is Saquon Barkley. If we compare where he's at this year to where he was going into Week 14 last season, the numbers are astounding. Look, there's no doubt the offensive talent is there. And to be honest, the Eagles are still 8-4. And there's a lot to like heading into the final stretch of the season. On the flip side of the matchup, Justin Herbert and the Chargers have lost just once in their last 5 games. And despite having surgery for a fracture in his non-throwing hand, it sounds like Herbert will be good to go. And their offense will get an extra boost with the addition of rookie running back Omarion Hampton, who's set to be active tonight. Hampton had been sidelined since fracturing his ankle back in Week 5. But before going down, he was just heating up. And with how good Kamani Vidal has been in the Chargers' backfield, it'll be fun to watch how they manage these two together. And as usual, you can catch the action right here on TSN. It's the Eagles and Chargers at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 5:15 p.m. Pacific. We've got a marquee Atlantic Division matchup Monday night as the Leafs host the division-leading Lightning. The Atlantic is super tight right now, with 4 points separating Tampa in first, with 7th place Ottawa and 6th place Toronto. The Leafs are 3-1-1 in their last 5 to get back in the division. The Lightning have lost 3 in a row with a chance to stretch this lead more. For the Buds, Dennis Hildeby figures to get the start with all the injuries in net. And Saturday night he was brilliant, topping 33 of 34 shots for a .971 save percentage. In his last 4 outings, Hildeby has a .963 save percentage and has allowed just 3 goals. The 2022 4th-round pick has 10 career starts and has never faced the Lightning. Nikita Kucherov is the player to watch for Tampa, which is nothing new. Since January 1st, he's got the 2nd most points in the league with 101. And he's on a tear right now with 18 in his last 9. For the Leafs, who are getting closer to a massive milestone, as Austin Matthews is just 9 goals away from becoming the franchise's all-time goals leader. Sundin leads the way with 420 goals, and Matthews on his current pace is set to hit that mark in almost 300 fewer games. You know it goes hand in hand with the holidays. World Juniors. It's almost that time of year, and today Hockey Canada announced their full roster of invitees. So let's take a look at some of these names, shall we? Among the forwards, a name that should come as a surprise to absolutely no one is projected first overall pick in next year's NHL draft, Gavin McKenna. Another few notable names include 2025 6th overall pick Porter Martone, who didn't play much at last year's tournament, but it's fair to say we'll probably see him a bit more this year if he makes the team. We can't forget about San Jose Sharks forward Michael Misa. The list of defensemen include Toronto Maple Leafs first-round pick in 2024, Ben Danford, who will be looking to play in his first ever World Junior Championship, and Flames defenseman Zane Parekh is also among the list of players. And the goalies feature a list of familiar names. One of those being Jack Ivankovic, a 2nd-round pick of the Nashville Predators in 2025, who has been lights out for Michigan this season, and Carter George, who was Canada's goalie at the World Juniors last year. The LA Kings prospect no doubt feels like he's got unfinished business. Canada's camp goes from December 12th to the 22nd in Niagara Falls. Then it's game time, baby! The World Juniors kicks off on Boxing Day, and you can catch all the action right here on TSN. Time now for building the FIFA World Cup presented by Home Depot. And now that everything is set in stone, we thought we'd take a look at the group of death. But it's fair to say there really isn't a clear group, but our sights are set on Group I. That features France, Senegal, Norway, and whoever wins the FIFA Intercontinental Playoff 2, which is between Iraq, Bolivia, and Suriname. The sheer amount of firepower in this group will truly be something to watch. Kylian Mbappe and France will surely be the favorites in this group. They are looking to make their 3rd straight World Cup finals. And what a run they had in qualifying. They won 5 of their 6 matches with a +12 goal differential. And their main man, Mbappe, scored 5 times. The 26-year-old striker is just 3 goals back from becoming France's all-time leading goal scorer. And in what could be one of the best matches at the World Cup, Mbappe will go head-to-head with arguably the best striker in the world, Erling Haaland, who needs absolutely no introduction. The Norwegian striker scored 16 times in 8 World Cup qualifiers. And Norway finished qualifying a perfect 8-0-0, scoring 37 goals and conceding just 5 times. They find themselves back in the FIFA World Cup for the first time since 1998. And although most eyes will be looking at those two nations, let's not forget about Senegal. The African side could be the biggest defensive test for both Mbappe and Haaland, as they dominated qualifying. Senegal were unbeaten through 10 matches and conceded just 3 times. And although we don't know the final team in the group, with just those 3 nations alone, we're in for an absolute treat. Canadian Women in Sport has their Get Girl Coached initiative, flipping the script to get girls more involved in youth sports. And I was lucky enough to be at PWHL Media Day a few weeks ago, where I got to sit down with the lovely Sophie Jaques of the Vancouver Goldeneyes. With Sophie now talking about the Canadian Women in Sport Get Girl Coached campaign. This is important because we're seeing so many girls drop out of sports by the age of 17. So how do we fix that?
Yeah, I think just having sports be a fun, inclusive environment, I think is really helpful for them. I think what we've seen in the past few years of how much women's sports has grown, I think that's making younger girls a lot more confident to stay in sports. So I think we're at a really good starting point.
Did you ever have a moment in your career growing up where you felt, okay, I can't do this anymore, I need to quit? And then how did you overcome that?
Yeah, I don't think I ever had a moment where I really wanted to quit, but I think growing up, I started off in guys hockey because there wasn't really much girls hockey, and I feel like I hit an age where it started to feel awkward and I wasn't exactly feeling like I fit in with the guys anymore. But I was super fortunate at that time to find a girls team that I was able to switch to for the following season, and it just really ignited my love for the sport again.
I love hearing that. Do you have advice for Canadian coaches out there of girls in sports?
Yeah, I would just say to have fun with the girls and don't put too much pressure on them. The whole goal can't always be winning, and at some point, the girls just need to be having fun and being active and making friends, I think is a huge win as well.
Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
For more information on the initiative, head over to keepgirlsplaying.ca. That's it for me today. We'll see you back in around 3 afternoon Pacific. Have a good one.